What stage of the construction process are you at just now?
We're just fitting it out. We're just about finished with all the big stuff. We're putting in last bits of the ceiling, doing decorations and the floor covering. So by the end of middle of next week to the end of next week we should be finished. We'll just be cleaning it down.
And during the construction of this, what were the main problems or issues that were facing you?
The main problem and issues we're facing, we had overhead cables. We've got a railway to one side, a school to the other. We've got a burn down at the bottom. So that was the major constraints we had, and it was kind of landlocked. So it was quite hard getting deliveries in, sequencing the job. So that was the major challenges.
Did you say you had wiring?
Overhead electric cables going right through the centre of the site.
And was that from the trains?
No, that was from the network.
And did Waitrose put any design constraints on you during the construction process?
No, nothing whatsoever. We had to go through planning before we started, so that was all agreed before we started on site.
And the outside design, the outer shell of the building is lovely. What was the inspiration behind the design and materials used for that?
I think the inspiration was so it sat nice within its location, and if you take a look, if you go back up to the end of the car park and look down, you can see how nicely it sits in between the hills and the school and the railway. It really complements the area.
Did you take the school building into consideration then when you were choosing materials?
The colour of the curtain walling matches and the colour of the roof matches, so yes, it was taken into consideration.
And what factors contributed to the early opening date?
Well, we had a lot of good subcontractors, and the way the programme went, we sequenced it, so and everybody was keen to get it finished quickly and leave a good quality job. So everybody kind of pulled together.
So just hard work?
Hard work, yeah, and long hours.
And when will the Waitrose sign be mounted?
The Waitrose signs are starting to put on the signs next week, so you'll start seeing the Waitrose signs going up on the canopies, on the external of the building, so that will start coming together next week.
How does it feel to be the manager of a superstore in a small seaside town?
I think it's an absolute honour, to be honest. I mean, I have worked in other seaside towns as well, so I've worked in Blackpool, which is different from here obviously. I've worked in Arran, Isle of Arran, so for a couple of years there. So I've worked in a variety of locations, and I'm absolutely delighted, as I said, an absolute honour.
So you're quite accustomed to the village feel of a supermarket?
I think so. I mean, I've lived in Arran, so I probably can't get much more remote than living in Arran, I would suggest. So no, I thoroughly look forward to it.
And then, was it a shock to receive so many applicants per job?
Yes. Yeah, I think the reality, we knew we had roughly 200 jobs. Obviously, you'd want, I think there was about 1,400 applicants applied. I mean, you would want to 1,400 jobs, so every applicant got a job would be the nice way. I mean, the reality is, sadly, 1,400 doesn't go into 200. Even with my poor maths, I know that. So, yeah, the wish list would have been, we had a job for everybody.
And how did you find the recruitment process now that you've gone through the 17-day training programme?
They've not started training yet, so they start that next Monday, so we start training. There's a stagger. Some of the partners get training a bit longer, so for example, petrol station partners will actually have about 2 weeks training. Other partners have about 3 or 4 days training, so everybody gets an individual training plan based on their job, but also based on their availability, because obviously people have lives and cats, kids, children, husbands, wives, so they try and tailor the training packages individually to the partners. And
that will be done, the majority of it, in Victoria Halls, is that right?
We've a mixture, so there's Victoria Halls, as you said, there are some training meetings, I should say, up in Cameron House, so the classroom-based training there. We do the bulk of the training actually in branches, so Byers Road, Newton Ment and Stirling are our training branches. Believe it or not, our nearest petrol station is Wolverhampton. So the petrol station partners are actually being taken down to Wolverhampton for 3 days live training there as well. So it's a combination of classroom-based theory and actually reality of in a working live branch.
And when will the shop be fitted? don't know if you're just about to finish up in here, or when will the rest of the equipment and produce be coming in?
So in terms of the equipment, probably trying to get my dates correct here, so about Monday the 11th of 12, my dates are out, that's probably, the shop is literally finished. Waitrose received the keys on Friday the 18th, so it's Friday the 18th, so the D-Day of, it becomes a shop under Waitrose's guidance, that's up to this now as a construction site, obviously the Barr Construction kind of building it for it. So when Friday the 18th we take the keys, from that Friday night the shopkeeping side of it sort of swoop into action. About 6 days to fill it from literally, as you see it today, which is a box with some shelves. That Friday the 18th we then convert it from that box into a full-blown, ready-to-go Waitrose.
And since Waitrose is a supporter of local suppliers, which of your products are going to be from around the Helensburgh and Lowland and the general nearby vicinity?
Right. So we have a separate buying team in head office who will do all the contracts. Obviously it's contracts to supply both Waitrose, Helensburgh and other Waitrose as well. So the one that we've picked up in the last few months is Loch Lomond Breweries. So that was as a genuine, they came to meet the buyer day, it was about 3-4 months ago in Glasgow, in the Lighthouse in Glasgow, and they've signed up to supply Waitrose, Helensburgh alone. So that's probably our only one that supplies us direct. The rest of the Scottish suppliers supply Newton Mearns, Byers Road, etc. as well. So I'm delighted that the Lowland Breweries teams, I think they've got 4 lines stocked in the branch. Fingers crossed to do well in here. It'll then be spread across the rest of the Waitroses in Scotland.
And we're actually standing in the alcohol area, yes, aren't we? So the brewery's produce will be right here in a few weeks' time?
Yeah, that's it, exactly. That's the flying. They've arranged about 6 or 7 lines of bottled beers, and we've got 4 to start off with. So there's a pride of place, I'm sure, at the front.